Welcome to Gaming Alchemy, everyone. Today on the channel, we are going to be doing a solo playthrough of Resident Evil, the board game. And this is the retail edition, not the fancy Kickstarter one. So don't have all the fancy bits that some people have when you watch other people's playthroughs, but I do have painted minis. And we are going to be playing as Barry Burton and Rebecca Chambers today. And our mission, we are playing the second floor East A scenario. And our mission is to burn these corpse tokens that are littered throughout the mansion. So there's one over there. There's 4 or 5 of them here. And we also have to find 2 item C cards, which are going to be in different rooms that we haven't explored yet. They're going to come out as we explore. We got a locked room here that we have to unlock, or a locked door, sorry, that we need the sword key to unlock, which we do happen to have. We found it in another scenario that we played. So yeah, and this is like the 4th scenario that I've played overall. So we actually were able to find a shotgun in the last scenario, which is going to be super helpful. We get to draw or roll 2 blue dice instead of 1. And I'm not really going to explain too much of the rules. Oops, she should be full health. I'm just going to play, and you will kind of see how the game works as we go along. So I'll just quickly go over the different things you can do. So we can, just zoom out a hair there. These are all the different actions we can do. We can move, we can attack, we can open or close doors, we can search. So there'll be item tokens we can search and get better items. We can trade with other people. We can use items, and then there will be a reaction phase after we do 4 actions for each character, and then there'll be a tension phase. So the zombies are going to react to the things we are doing, and that is how it is going to work. And I will just read the introduction to the scenario here. Unnatural groans echo through the hallways, accompanied by the scrape of stumbling and uncertain footsteps. Where you might have experienced calm before, this place won't offer the same assurance or sanctuary. If you don't want this wing to be overrun, you'll need to do something, and quick. A corpse lies nearby, and as you watch in incredulous terror, it begins to twitch and writhe, its eyes open, frantically staring about before your boot crushes the creature's skull. Resolve fills your veins. You don't have enough firepower to defeat every foe, but you can certainly ensure that those already down will never rise again. So, like I said, we need to discover both item C cards and have no corpse tokens on the playing area. Then we can choose to successfully complete this scenario at any time. So I kind of wanted to show you a playthrough as I've kind of gone into the game a little bit, just so you can see the tension deck, how it's evolved over the last few scenarios, and the encounter deck, and just nice to have a few different weapons and stuff too. Awesome that we found a shotgun. And to start things off, Rebecca is going to start, and she has a B item over here that we can see, and we want to get over there so we can start burning those corpses on fire, start lighting them up. So she is going to move 1 space to there, and then she's going to open the door. And then as soon as she steps foot into this building, or this room, sorry, we're going to have to deal with this encounter card token. So that means we got to draw 1 encounter card and do what it says. And we draw this one that says locate the closest tile to the active character that contains 1 or more enemies and at least 1 non-locked closed door. Open every non-locked closed door on the tile. So we got to locate the closest tile to the active character. And the closest tile would be this one. And it basically says, locate the Closest tile to the active character that contains one or more enemies. Well, there are no enemies on the board yet. And at least one non-lock closed door. So because there's no enemies, we're just going to say the closest one, which is this one here, and we're just going to open that door. Which means that tile is now linked to this tile because of the open door. So if there were zombies in there, they would react if there was any to any actions that we perform, because this tile is also linked because of the open door. So if I close the door behind me, then these ones would not be linked to this one anymore. And that's a really neat system of you can use the doors to your advantage. So she moved one space, she opened the door, she moved another space, so she has one action left. She is just going to move on to the B item and get ready for her next turn. And we'll have to draw a tension card now. There are no enemies, so there is no reaction phase as of yet. So let's draw a tension card, and we get an all clear, and there's no symbol on the bottom. I'm not going to read all the flavor texts. You can pause them and read them if you really, really want. And Barry, he also has a B item over here, and we want to try to get those lighters so we can start lighting up the corpses as well. So he is going to spend an action to open that door, and then he is going to move in, and he's going to have to deal with this encounter token, which says we got to draw 2 encounter cards, which could be really horrible. So the first one is we spawn a Cerberus. Lovely. And there's these little spawn points on the board here. I think there's one over there too. So it says to kind of distribute them equally between the 2 spawn points if we do draw another one. And we also spawn a zombie. So just like that, we got a ton of junk going on in here. Barry Burton is hurting. Or he's gonna be, maybe. So that was 2 actions. So he does have an action left. He could actually move out of the room and close the door for now. But he could also take a shot at that Cerberus. The only problem is, if I take a shot at either one of these, the other one is going to react and move into my zone and be one step closer to attacking me. So you know what? I think maybe we will just back out of the room, shut the door for now, and we will deal with that junk later. And now that tile is not linked to him anymore, so we don't actually have any reactions happening there, but we do have to draw a tension card, which we get Deathly Rasp. So a sinister growl echoes from the walls, dripping with malicious intent. But where is it coming from? Are you under attack? Which means we have to draw another encounter card. And if the mansion level was higher, which is this little dial right here. So right now we're just on the little hand symbol there. But as you move on and progress through all the different scenarios, these different symbols are going to show up and potentially trigger more things on these cards. So we're going to draw another encounter card, which says, after resolving all spawn entries on cards drawn with this card, replace the closest corpse with a zombie. Okay, and the closest corpse is actually this one right there. So we're going to replace him with another zombie. And you're allowed to have 4 small base characters in one space at a time. And if they were the double base ones, they count as 2. So like this guy here would count as 2. So you can only have 2 of the medium base ones in a space at a time. But that is the end of our first round. And now back to Rebecca's turn. So she is going to spend an action to pick up this B item. And we draw a dagger. which allows us to basically get a free pass at an evade roll when someone attacks us. So that's not the worst thing in the world. Would have kind of preferred a lighter, but it is what it is. So that was only her first action. And next I think she's going to go through this door here. The scenario book doesn't say it's locked. Let me just check quick. So I think we can go through there. And yes, it doesn't say that it's locked. It just links to another card, which is going to show us how to set things up. And this is the card right here. So these are kind of annoying. You kind of have to orientate the card to everything else that you already have laid out. I always thought you just went like this and that was the orientation, but no, you actually have to turn it to make it fit the right way. So this is actually the way it is supposed to go. So I will grab those tiles and we'll set them up. So here are our 2 rooms that we've added. We've got a C item here. This room links to the sword key, which Barry Burton has, so he will still be able to join Rebecca in here. We do have a corpse. Yeah, an item C. We got an item B in this room over there. And I believe I should have had a door. Yes. And I'm actually using these doors from Nemesis because I really hate the door tiles that came with the game. They're just these little things and it's kind of hard to tell. But I think I've used them all already because there's so many doors used in this scenario. So I'm going to have to go back to using these. So there is a door right there. And then there's a 2 encounter card token in there. And there's this crest token, and the scenario book says when we go on there, we can spend an action to refill our kerosene up to our maximum. So we are going to go here for our second action. We're going to open the door. We're going to move in. And whenever we move on a space with a corpse, we have to roll this die here. And on the 1 position, it's got this umbrella symbol. If we ever roll that symbol while we're standing on a corpse, it reanimates into a zombie. So let's hope that doesn't happen. And that wasn't a very good roll. And we get a 6, so we are safe. And for her last action, I think she's going to close this door just in case something else comes in the back later. And that also means there are no enemies linked to her, so we don't have to worry about reactions. And she just has to draw a tension card, and she grabs Fevered Assault. So during the next player's turn, increase enemy movement values by 1. So this card remains in play. Oh, that's only if we had that symbol. So just on Barry Burton's turn, we're going to be increasing enemy movement by 1. So I will just put that there to remind me. And it might not even affect us, but just in case. And now Barry Burton is going to go. And I think he's going to join Rebecca down here. And so he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And that door is going to have to stay open, I guess. And there are no enemies linked to him either. But he will have to draw a tension card. And he grabs an all clear. But it does have this symbol on the bottom, which is bad news for some of our enemies. So the Cerberuses have an ability that says if the top card in the tension deck discard pile has that symbol on it, then this enemy performs 2 reactions instead of 1 during the reaction phase. So just keep that in mind. And then I think we'll have Rebecca just move 1 space to here. And she is going to pick up this C item for her second action, and we will see what that is. No pun intended. And we picked up Herbicide. It says if the first floor West B scenario has already been completed, this card can be used to retrieve and resolve the 2 mission card. Okay. That doesn't really help us a ton right now. And Rebecca can hold 6 items. because of her card here. It says she can hold 6, and she actually has 6 right now. So if she gets any more items, she's gonna have to drop something, I'm thinking. But that was 2 actions. So then I think she will go over here and open this door. That was on the open side. Oh, interesting. Okay, so she opens that door for her last action. And I'm just going to double check and make sure it's when we go onto the tile that we have to resolve the encounter cards and not just when we open the door. And yeah, it says when we move on to the tile is when we deal with those encounter cards. So we have been doing that right. So that is good. And there are no enemies out there yet, so we don't have to worry about reactions, but we do have to do that pesky tension card, and we get all clear, and it has a different symbol this time. Looks like the X-Men symbol, which also affects every enemy. Actually has an X-Man symbol on it, which allows them to attack you from one space away instead of in the same space. And they do a little bit extra attacky things, which are bad. And so that's Rebecca's turn. And now Barry Burton is in the same room. I think he's going to close this door just in case something bad happens. So 1 action, and then 2nd action, 3rd action. And I think I might just trade with Rebecca because he only has 4 items and he can take one of those from her so she can hold something else later. And maybe he will take this dagger that she picked up and he will take that into his inventory. And then no enemies on their tiles, so we just got to draw a tension card, and it's another all clear, which is great. Okay, and I was just looking at the scenario rules again, and I just saw and remembered that whenever you pick up a C item in this particular scenario, you have to replace all the corpse tokens in your tile, which is this tile here, with a corpse. Or sorry, with a zombie. He already was a corpse. So he would have reacted at the end of Rebecca's turn. And then when Barry finished his turn here, obviously I probably would have attacked him with my knife or something. But we'll just, have him react and attack Barry as punishment for me not remembering things. So we'll roll for that and see if he attacks. And if he does successfully attack us, we get to push him out of our square. So let's see if he attacks us first. We got to roll one of these dice, and we have to get that symbol or that symbol or that symbol in order to successfully evade him. And Barry rolls successfully. So we do not get attacked, or we do not have to take any damage. And if he would have successfully attacked us, we would have got to be able to push him out to an adjacent square, but he didn't attack us successfully, so he's going to stay there. And now at the start of Rebecca's turn, she is going to try to knife him to try to push him away, or maybe potentially kill him again. So she's going to roll for that. And she does not. So he is going to react and attack her, which means she is going to take an automatic hit from the enemy's basic attack. So she is going to have to take a hit. So she's going to move down from fine to not as fine. But now we do get to move him out of our square to an adjacent square, which is going to help quite a bit. So that was her first action. Her second action is going to be to move up into here. And we have to deal with those encounter cards now. So let's take care of those. And the first one is spawn a corpse. Okay. So we'll spawn a corpse over here where that symbol is. And our second encounter card is spawn a corpse. At the end of the active character's tension phase, replace each corpse on this tile with a zombie. Okay. So we need to add another zombie. And you generally space them out. There's another symbol over here, biohazard symbol. So at the end of all of her actions, after she's done her tension card, those are going to turn into zombies. So that was her second action. So she's going to go 3 over to here. And her last action, she is going to pick up that B item, which should be a lighter. Yes, it is. So now we can burn up those corpses as long as we have kerosene tokens. And that's what this little crest, sun crest is. If we perform an action on that sun crest, it'll actually refill our kerosene to our maximum, which is great. So we can do some more Bernie burns. And then reaction phase, this zombie is going to move back into Barry Burton's spot, but he's not going to attack because his range is 0, so he has to be in the same square. And then her tension card is Fevered Assault. So during the next player's turn, increase enemy movement values by 1. I would ignore this because our mansion threat level isn't at that spot yet. But for Barry Burton's turn, all the zombies are going to move 1 more, which is awesome. Not. So now is the end of Rebecca's tension phase. So now those corpses are going to become zombies. Woohoo! So we will put a zombie there and a zombie there. And now it's Barry's turn. I think he's going to try to knife this guy. And I wonder if I should close this door first, because then these ones won't react. But it also wastes actions. I think I will. Let's close this door. And then we'll attack the zombie in our square. So we're looking for the hit symbol. Okay, that did not work. So we are going to take a hit. And he should have been at full health already. Yes. So he's going to take a hit. I'm pretty sure that's right. I don't think he had taken a hit from before. I do get to push him away 1 square. And then for my third action, I'm going to just try attacking him again with my knife, because you can be 1 space away for that. And at least now if he attacks me, he'll just come into my square. Or if he reacts, he'll just come into my square. And I failed to roll good again, so he is going to come back into my square. Man, I'm having issues with this one zombie. Maybe let's try shooting him with our gun this time. He hasn't fired off his handgun yet, so we're going to fire 3 shots, because you can do that with the handgun. It has like a rapid fire mode. So we have to roll 3 dice, and we got to roll one of those symbols. And we do. We turn him into a corpse again. Yay! And I believe that's 4 actions, because I closed the door, I attacked him on my square, he moved over here, I attacked him with my knife again, he moved back in, then I shot him. So yeah, that should be 4 actions. So now, no reaction phase because I closed that door, so those zombies aren't in my play area, or they aren't linked to me. So now, we just gotta do a tension card. Oh, great. And remember, zombies would have moved 1 extra move if I hadn't closed that door. So that's probably good I did that. But now Rebecca's got to deal with it on her own. So we get no escape. Open the closest non-locked closed door to the character. Okay. enemies. So more bad stuff would have happened if that was there. And the closest unlocked door is this one, because this one's already open. And so that is potentially going to be bad if zombies ever showed up over here. But that's okay. No enemies showed up at least, so that is good. And I just saw something. There's actually a wall right there. So when I moved Rebecca from here to here, I can't actually do that. You actually, you can normally move diagonally, but not when there's a wall and you're moving across a wall like that. I would have had to spend another action to go there. So we're gonna spend one of her actions already this turn to make up for it. And I would have had to roll this die when I went on that corpse. But we'll just leave it because he turned into a corpse at the end of her turn anyway. But we'll just say she only has 3 actions this turn, because she should have spent another one on her last turn there. And she's kind of cornered right now. So would this be a good time? Maybe I'll just try knifing him first, just to try to push him back or potentially kill him. I do have a lighter now, so I can burn him up if I actually turn him into a corpse. So first action, let's attack him with my knife. And let's hope we roll something good. Well, at least we got a push, so we can push him back. So we will push this guy back, but then this guy reacts because he heard the noise of us trying to struggle knifing him. And then her second action, she's maybe going to go there. And she's going to use her shotgun, which means she can potentially do 2 damage, and she can hit all the enemies in her square if she rolls that symbol there. I believe, I'm just going to double check that. Yeah, so this symbol here means if we hit, we decapitate the zombies so they don't turn into a corpse again, just like in the video game. And this means 1 damage, this means 1 damage, and this symbol means, so if we roll the hit symbol, we're gonna hit both of them once. So it means it affects all enemies in the square that you're firing in. And we get to roll 2 dice, 2 blue dice for this. So this is gonna be awesome and epic, I hope. We do have to go down 1 on our shotgun ammo, which always sucks because it's so precious. But let's see if we blow some zombies' heads off. And we do. And we roll that symbol. So we just blew these 2 zombies' heads right off. Say hello to my little friend. Boom. Rebecca was not worried at all. She's in such close range, she knew she'd hit their heads. And no corpse tokens. So that was amazing. And that's her 3 actions, because she knifed, moved, and shot with her shotgun. So that's going to be her turn. She's got no enemies in her square. The door is closed. So we just got to deal with a tension card, and she gets an all clear. That is great. And for Barry's turn, he is just going to, he doesn't have a lighter, so he can't burn that corpse, but he can go down here for 1, close this door for 2 actions, and then I think he's just going to move on this way, and we are going to make our way over here and start moving through, see what the mansion has this way, because this is a one-way locked door over here, so we have to go in from this side over here. We got no enemies in any linked tiles, so it's just going to be another tension card, and he gets another all clear. And Rebecca's next turn is going to be pretty quick. She is just going to go 1, 2, spend an action on that crest to refill her kerosene, which are these little tokens right here. And she can hold 4 of them. So that's what that is right there. 4. So now she's fully stocked up on kerosene. And her last action, she's just going to move over here and come burn this corpse and then join Barry over here. Barry's got to find a lighter now. And that is the end of her phase. There's no enemies, so she's just got to do tension card, and it's an all clear. And then Barry's turn. He is going to just move on up. 1, 2, 3. And maybe he'll open this door for 4. And we will see what is in there. So here's the next card of our mansion. So that's where we're standing. And we got to add all these rooms now. So I'll populate all that. And I'll maybe do his tension card just before, so I don't forget. And it's an all clear with no symbols on it. So we are good to go. I will populate the next part of the mansion, and then I'll show you that, and then we'll continue on with the next turn. So here's our new areas. Barry Burton's over here. Just zoomed out a little bit. We got an A item here. 1 encounter card here. We got another crest token so we can refill our kerosene. And the book, or sorry, the card that shows the next rooms there, that are these ones, shows these symbols there. And I think that means that they're connected. So there's no doors in those spots. It's just one big giant open room. I think that's what that means, but like the scenario book doesn't actually tell you what those symbols mean, which is really annoying. I do not see that symbol anywhere, but that's the way I have been playing it. And then I'm still just going to play as I move into that next section, that's when I deal with those encounter cards. But it does mean that this cute little puppy here is connected and linked all the way to us now. So he is going to move. And dogs, those Cerberuses, they actually move twice when they move. They move 2 spaces. So he's going to catch up to us pretty quick. And then, yeah, we got some more items. There's a C item over here. So that is part of our scenario objective. We have to collect the last C item and then burn all the corpses on the whole play area. And the only other place we can get another lighter is in this room over here where this B item is, but I don't really want to go in there now because there's a dog and 2 zombies. I kind of just want to leave them there to chill. But because he opened the door over here, this little puppy is now linked, so he's going to move 2 towards Barry. And I already did the tension card, so we should be good for the next turn. And Rebecca is going to spend an action to open this door. She's going to move in. She still has to roll this annoying dice to see if it turns into a zombie before I can burn it. Whew. Thank you. Thank you. She'll spend an action and one of her kerosene tokens, now that she has a lighter, to burn that corpse to the ground. So that corpse is Gonzo, which is great. So that was 3 actions. So now she's just going to move over there. And she is linked now because these doors are open. So that Cerberus is going to move 2 more spaces toward us. And now she has got to do her tension phase, which is another all clear with no symbols on it. So I am loving that. And now good old Barry's turn. He is going to move into this room. So that's 1 action. And then he has to deal with this encounter card. So we will draw that. Hopefully it's not something really bad. It's a zombie. Awesome. And that is going to go on the closest spawn point, which is right there. Great. And he is probably just going to try to knife him to to see if he can try to kill him without having to spend any ammo. So let's roll for that. So looking for the wound symbol or a push. Push works. So he is going to push that zombie one back. I'm wondering if I should... Oh, and this Cerberus actually reacts to him being attacked. I put these little archway tokens there to show that those are all connected. I looked in the rulebook too, and it doesn't... mentions archways, but it doesn't show that symbol and what it means. So, really weird. Yeah, anyway, that was our second action. I could just go here for my third and pick up this A action, but he will react. But he won't attack me. So maybe we'll do that. We'll pick up this A item and see what we got, and we got a kerosene container. So it says, instead of placing this card in your character's inventory, place it face up on this square with 3 kerosene tokens on it. Character in this square can spend an action to remove any number of tokens and add them to their profile card. When the last token is removed, discard this card. So that is just going to stay there. And we're going to put 3 kerosene tokens on it. And then, so there we got the kerosene tokens on there, and then this zombie is going to react in the reaction phase, as is this guy here. He is on his way, getting closer. And then we'll just have to deal with his tension card, which is a mission update. So we draw a mission card. Okay, well that's cool. I get to show you this at least. And our mission card that I drew is called Finding Someplace Safe. So how this works is we need to have a reserve character in our reserve area. And we do happen to have our good old buddy Brad Vickers in our reserve. So he is going to be the one that's going to go on this mission. And basically how it's going to work is these discarded, these encounter cards, we're going to draw them from the deck. And basically, usually the missions say that you can keep drawing until you want to stop, kind of a push your luck thing. And here's a discarded one. So we're just going to be looking at the top symbols for this. So this card has a wound on it. This card has 2 clue tokens, and that's usually what we want for successes. And but let's see what our mission says. So our mission says we just have to draw 5 cards from the encounter deck. And then survive, it looks like. If this character survives and didn't abandon the mission, shuffle the number 12 encounter card into the encounter deck. Well, that better be good. Better be a good encounter card. So we will do that. We will draw 5 cards. And we'll see if our old pal Brad survives. So we got a clue. We got another clue. So that's 2 cards. Another clue. 3 cards. I think he might survive. Okay, he's going to get 1 wound. And that means that those are special symbols that mean other things. But he basically just took 1 wound, so he survives. That's all he needed to do. So I'm just going to put a wound on him like that. And then now we got to find the number 12 encounter card. And here is our number 12. So it gives us some helpful symbols. That'll be helpful later. And it says ignore the effects of any other encounter cards drawn with this card and shuffle them back into the encounter deck. Place this card next to this tile for the rest of the scenario. If a character on this tile draws an encounter card, discard it without resolving the entries. Oh, that's amazing. That's way better than one of the bad encounter cards. So yeah, that is going to get shuffled into the encounter deck. So we might even see that this game, which would be very helpful because I know there's still some bad ones left in here. But with that should end our turn because that was the tension card, was the mission. So we will go on to our next round. So Rebecca's turn is going to be pretty easy and quick. She's just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 and get closer to Barry. Unfortunately, this zombie is already on a space with Barry, so he's not going to move one closer to her. He's going to stay where he is and start chomping on Barry, especially since he's not even looking in the same direction. There we go. So he will have to make an evade roll against the zombie because the zombie is going to attack him. So let's roll for that. So yeah, he's got to roll one of these little half circle-y things because there's only one enemy in a square, and he does. So he does not get attacked. But our cute little puppy here is going to move 2 closer to us as well. And then she has to draw a tension card. Uh-oh. I don't like it when they're not green. Locate the closest to the active character. Oh, locate the tile closest to the active character where there are enemies but no characters. Remove the enemy on the tile with the highest threat level and place them on the character's tile on the closest spawn point. Uh-oh. That's bad because the closest room to her that has enemies but no characters is up here. And the highest threat level is this Cerberus, which means it says you don't spawn them on your space. So he is going to go there. And that is not good at all. So he is going to react after Barry's turn and get onto Rebecca's space, but I guess he won't attack quite yet because he has to be range 0 unless one of those little X symbols is there. He has range of 3. And he does some kind of scratchy thing to look up what that symbol means. So that symbol means assault. So he actually moves to the same square as the character he attacked. So he could be 3 spaces away and then he moves right to their space after attacking them. So that's not good. Not great at all. And Barry, he is just going to try to knife this zombie to try to kill him or potentially push him around a bit. So let's see what he can muster up. And he gets a push. Oh, but that is going to make the other enemies react. Not cool. But we will push him this way. This guy is going to move 2 spaces closer, and he's going to move 2 spaces closer. But now he's in range to that Cerberus over there. So maybe he will spend some ammo. He'll go down to 9 and do some rapid fire and try to kill that puppy for Rebecca. So I get to roll the 3 dice, and all we get is a pushback. That's really horrible. So we get to push him back 1 space, but now these guys are going to react. Oh boy. But that was 2 actions. Now we're going to have to knife that zombie in our square, even though it's going to make the Cerberus's move. Oh, man, this is getting crazy. I don't have any. I do have this dagger, though, which means if I'm attacked, I can basically discard this to pass my evade roll. So we're getting into kind of a heap of trouble here, but we are going to try to knife that zombie. And we do it. That is amazing. So we kill this zombie. He becomes a corpse. But now the Cerberus, I think this Cerberus is just going to stop there because Rebecca's there. And that was 3 actions, I believe. So he does have another action left. But if I attack, but I kind of have to attack, even though Rebecca's going to get reacted and hit. She could still make an evade roll, I guess. But I'm going to have to attack. I'm going to spend 3 more ammo. We're getting low on ammo. We're going to, do some rapid fire against this dog. And so we got 3 dice. Oh, nice. And we rolled 2 of these, which is amazing. So we kill that dog. Thank goodness for that. But Rebecca is going to have to make an evade roll against that Cerberus. So she can roll 2 dice. So she just needs to roll any of the arrow symbols. Nope. So she is going to take 1 hit according to the Cerberus's card. So now she is in the caution area, but she does have a first aid spray. So we can use that once we maybe get 1 more hit. And so that was his last action. So now actually he's going to react again, because now it's the reaction phase. That was just him reacting to him attacking the other dog. So she is going to have to make another evade roll. And Rebecca should have rolled 2 dice on that last attack, so she's going to roll her other one first. Okay, so she still would have taken a damage. But now she will roll 2 dice, not 1. I keep thinking I'm rolling for Barry. Okay, and she evades this time, so she won't take another damage, thank goodness. And now Barry just has to do his tension card, which is an all clear. Right on. And for the start of Rebecca's next turn, I think she is going to lay the smackdown on that puppy. And she's going to spend 3 ammo. So she's going to go down to 9. And she's going to rapid fire with her handgun. Kind of want to try to save my shotgun ammo if I can. And she just pushes back twice, which could work in our favor, actually. So they're in the same square. So she is going to push him back twice. For her second action, she's going to move into this room. Third action, she's just going to close the door. And now that Cerberus isn't going to react. Whew. So that actually worked out really well. And she's got 1 action left. She attacked, she came in, she closed the door. She's just going to hop into Barry's space over here. And then she can maybe refill back up to her max kerosene on her next turn. So let's just zoom out again here. So we got no enemies linked on this tile now, which is great. So she just has to do her tension phase now. And it's another all clear. So you can see how you can use doors strategically in this game, because now doors closed, he can't hear us and he's not linked to us, which is really great. And now it's Barry's turn. So Barry, he does not have a lighter. He doesn't care about kerosene. He's just going to keep on trucking. 1, 2, 3, 4. And no enemies again, so just a tension card, and it's another all clear. So there's mainly all clears in this deck, and as the game progresses, you're going to be adding more of those orange and red cards to the deck. So that's why there's so many all clears. But it's still pretty nail-biting when, because bad things can just happen when you get a few bad cards in a row. But that is the end of Barry's turn and the end of this round. And like I said, I think she's just going to grab another kerosene token. There is another crest here where she could also spend an action to refill her kerosene, but she doesn't really need to. The next corpse in the mansion is right here. And then we got another one there. And then, I don't know, we might have to... And then there's another one in this room here. So we're going to have to burn those 3 corpses. Hope none more come out when we reveal these 2 encounter cards. But it's probably going to happen. So, so she's just going to go 1, 2, 3 because she had spent an action doing that. And no enemies around them or linked to them. So she just draws another card and it's an all clear. But it does have this symbol on it. So we just got to keep that in mind. Now Barry's going to do his turn. So first action, he's going to move into this room. And we have to deal with these 2 encounter cards. First one is spawn 2 zombies. Great. So we will do that. So closest first. And there is another one here. So we kind of split them up. Zoom over here a bit. And then we got to draw one more. So it looks like we're going to have some more corpses. And we spawn another zombie. And we search the encounter deck, discard pile for any cards with spawn entries that spawn Cerberus enemies, and shuffle them back into the deck. That's horrible. I don't know if we've had any that spawn Cerberuses yet, but I'll check. And if there is any, I'll shuffle them back in. And there was one in the discard pile that spawned a Cerberus, so I got to shuffle that guy back into our encounter deck. So we'll just give that a quick little shuffle. And then, I don't know what we should do here. I only have 6 ammo left in his gun. But I kind of think I should spend 3 more ammo and try to kill at least one of them. So here's hoping, right on, and we get one of those. And I don't know if we get to split these up. Like, can I kill one zombie and push the other one? I'm gonna have to look into that. So yeah, I looked it up, and if there's multiple enemies in the same square as your character, or if you're attacking enemies on the same square, you can only attack one of them. But because we rolled a push and then an attack, we're just going to push this guy for fun and then kill him, so his corpse will be over there. And then this guy is going to react by moving in, and this guy is going to react as well. But you... Oh, actually no. We have this X symbol on the last tension card, which means he can actually attack us from 1 space away. And then remember, this little scratchy symbol means he's actually going to move into our space after. So we are going to have to make an evade roll for Barry and see if he doesn't get attacked first. And he rolls one of those, so he is safe. But he will move into his square because he was there after that happens. So he's still got 2 actions left. This guy's 2 spaces away. So if I attack him, he'll move in, and then he'll be able to attack me on the reaction phase. Maybe Barry will move 1 back for his 3rd action and just knife this guy and try to kill him that way, and then he will still only move 1. He will attack if he doesn't get killed, but that's okay. So really hoping Barry can come in clutch here. Well, he pushes him back at least, so that's not the worst. So he will push this guy back, but then this guy reacts by moving in. And you know what that means. It's Rebecca's turn, but I guess first we got to do reaction phases for Barry, and then he's got to draw a card. It's an all clear, but at least that symbol is not there anymore for Rebecca's turn. And I just caught a boo-boo that I made. So when Barry was in this space with this guy and he moved away, he actually had to, this zombie would have attacked him. So he would have had to make an evade roll for him to be able to do that. So let's just roll for that evade roll now. And I'm just looking for any of the arrow symbols, and we got one. And so that's what that means. If it's a small base enemy, you only have to roll that. If it's a medium base enemy, you have to roll that or this. If it's a large enemy, you have to roll the 3/4 circle arrow. thing. But this will work for just a single zombie square as well. He does not take any damage, at least, from that little boo-boo that I made. And for Rebecca's turn, you know what? I also realize that we just left a corpse over here. I didn't see it maybe because of the coloring. But first, before we go back and deal with that, Rebecca's going to move in here for one, and she is totally going to use her shotgun to try to decapitate these two zombies. And hopefully they won't turn into corpses, because we got lots of burning to do already. So here's really, really hoping we roll some death. Oh, okay. Well, this symbol still kills one of them at least. So let's move over and check that out. And that actually does decapitate him, because every attack gets the decapitate symbol on it. So it's not going to turn into a corpse at least, but the other zombie will still react. So this guy gets blown to smithereens, and because he got decapitated, no corpse. But this guy is going to move in. And now I think she will just use her knife to conserve some ammo. And this is her third action. So she's going to try to roll. Oh, nice. And she kills him. That's amazing. So this guy, he does become a corpse. But at least she can burn him on the spot now. So yeah, her last action, I think she'll just spend another kerosene token and burn that corpse up. So at least it's not going to come back again. And there's no enemies linked to any of our tiles. So Rebecca just does a tension card and it's all clear. And now it is Barry's turn, and I think he's just going to keep motoring. 1, 2, 3, 4. Although I do have to roll this dice to see if he turns into a zombie, that corpse. And he doesn't. I rolled a 6. Sorry, that was off camera. And then his last action, he's just going to move there. Try to pick up that A item on his next turn. And again, we got Tragic Echoes. Locate the closest zombie to the active character and place an item A token underneath its base. When the zombie moves or is pushed, the token moves with the model. Characters can't make a search action to remove the token while the zombie is on the playing area. When the zombie is killed, leave the token in the square it was on. Okay, the closest zombie is actually way up here. So I guess we'll put an A token underneath the closest one. So that's going to actually move with him if he ever does move again. And Rebecca's turn is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. She doesn't have any actions left after moving back up there. But we get Gnawing Fear. If this character leaves their current tile during the next turn, they must draw 2 extra cards in the next tension phase. Okay, so we'll just leave that beside Rebecca to remind us. And then we will do Barry's turn over here. So he's going to pick up this A item for his first action, which he drew handgun bullets, and I'm using that right now because he is getting really low. That was amazing to get that right now. So we get to increase this by 8. So he's got his ammo right back up to 12 again, and he's feeling good.
I feel wonderful. I feel good.
That was just his first action, so he's going to move here, and he's going to roll that dice to see if we got a zombie. No zombie. And then 3, 4. And again, no zombies on his tile. So we just got to draw a tension card. Reanimate. Locate the corpse closest to the active character. Remove the corpse and place or spawn a zombie in its square. Darn it. This guy would be the closest. So, yay. We get to spawn a zombie there. And Rebecca's next turn. She's just going to burn this corpse and spend another one of her kerosene tokens. And then she's going to spend another action to grab these 2 kerosene off this card. And now that will go away. And then she is just going to move 2 more spaces and start following Barry back over here. There is a zombie linked to her though, so that guy is going to react by moving into Barry's square. And then she is going to draw a tension card, and it is another all clear. And now Barry's turn. He is going to try to knife that zombie. So let's roll for that. And he does it. He kills him and turns him back into a corpse again. Like he deserves. But now it's on his square. So if a corpse ever materializes on your square, you don't have to roll this dice. It's only if you move onto a square that had one already. So that's his first action. So he can go 1, 2, 3 and keep on moving. No more enemies linked. So he just has to draw. Oh man. Another one of these orange ones. If the next character is on the same tile at the start of their tension phase as they began their turn on, they must draw 2 additional cards. Dang it! That means Rebecca has to deal with this. And remember, she had this one, which she did stay on her tile on that last turn, so she doesn't have to draw. She didn't have to draw anymore. But now she's going to have to stay on this tile again, which should only get to spend 2 actions really, unless I want to have her draw 2 additional cards, which I definitely do not. So that majorly sucks, but it is what it is, and we might as well do her turn right now because that's all she's gonna do is that. No enemies. She gets an all clear, but it does have the X-Men symbol on it. So, on to Barry's turn. And I just realized that this is a locked one-way door, and we don't actually have a key to open it. We have a sword key, but that only opens doors that are required to be used by a sword key to open. So we need like a normal key in order to open that door. So we're actually going to have to grab this item C, which is part of our mission for this scenario. But we're not going to be able to open this door. So we're going to actually have to go all the way back and deal with this Cerberus over here after all. But it is what it is. So Barry on his turn, he's going to do exactly that. Since we have to grab this C item, so that's 1, 2, 3, and he's going to grab it for 4. And now all we have to do is burn the rest of the corpse tokens, and the scenario will be complete. And the C item that we picked up is the music notes, which we do need to unlock the first floor West B scenario and required to complete it. So we are going to need this for future quests. And the C deck, you don't actually shuffle. They're in a predetermined order. So that's just the next C card that happened to be there. Nothing that really helps us at the moment. And we just have to roll or grab another one of these, which is another bad one. During the next turn, if any player speaks, the active character must immediately draw an encounter card. Okay, well that's kind of tricky to do while I am filming. Why don't we just draw another one instead? Or I just don't speak for my next turn. That'd be kind of fun and weird. Let's do it. Well, that was probably the weirdest and most awkward filming I've ever had to do. But super cool. Why not, right? So Rebecca's next turn. She's going to go 1, 2. Hopefully not a zombie. Yay. 3. Spend another token. Get rid of another corpse, which is great. So that was 1, 2, 3. She can go one more. And then she just has a tension card because no enemies linked and it's bad. Remove the closest corpse and replace it with a crimson head. Oh, geez, we almost had all the corpses cleared out of this place. But now we're going to have to spawn a crimson head, which is one of these guys. And now Barry's turn. He's just going to stay right there, and he just recently got a Christmas present of a bunch of ammo, and this is a great time to use it because that Crimson Head actually takes 2 damage to kill instead of 1 like a normal zombie. So let's roll for that. And we only rolled a push. I was really hoping for something better there, but let's push him. Probably thematically, it makes the most sense to push him this way into Rebecca's square. Even though I think we could have probably still pushed him this way. But thematically, it makes sense to push him in the direction he gets shot at. Maybe we'll try shooting him again. We'll go down to 6 ammo and shoot again. If we miss, though, she is, or that zombie is going to attack Rebecca, unfortunately, but sometimes you got to sacrifice for the greater good. So he gets 3 dice again. Man, and he just gets 2 pushes, which is okay, I guess. Because thematically it's weird, but he pushes him around a corner. And how many actions has he done now? He just attacked twice, so he can still move 2 over. And that is the end of that round. So this guy reacts, and he still only moves 1. And there's no symbol on our last tension card. And so then he just draws another tension card, and it's all clear. And I think you know what Rebecca's gonna do. Shotgun time. And we're going to hope she rolls a lot better than Barry does. So she gets 2 dice. Nice. And she rolls one of those at least. But we still only do 1 damage. It does 1 damage, and it would also, that symbol there means it would attack any other zombie in its square as well. And we do need to get 1 more damage on that guy. So, we'll just throw a damage like that. So I think she will probably just try to knife him. And here's hoping. Nice! She gives him 1 more damage, turns him back into a corpse, and everyone rejoices. So that was 2 actions for her, so she can, we get rid of that wound marker, so she can go like that, move into there, and spend another kerosene token, and get rid of that corpse for good. Hooray. And now there's no more enemies linked to them, and she draws an all clear with the X-Man. And now it's Barry's turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. And a tension card, which is another all clear. Now these next few turns may be a bit boring. But you never know what can happen with a tension card. Sometimes they're pretty nasty. This one is an all clear. And then Barry, 1, 2, 3, 4. And another all clear. And we might as well just keep on trucking. 1, 2, 3, 4. All clear with that symbol. And wait. She wants to replenish. So she's going to end up there because she would have just stopped there, refilled her kerosene. That's important because she only has one left. So she is going to refill her kerosene because she's the only one with a lighter. So she kind of needs to do that. She already drew her tension card there. So now it's Barry's turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tension card for him, which is a bad one. Draw an additional tension card. Okay, so remember, only if our mansion was in these levels would we do this part. So we just draw an additional one, which is no escape. Open the closest non-locked closed door to the character. Well, that's not horrible. We were going to do that on our next turn anyway. So we have to unlock this one, but he doesn't react because the reaction happens before the tension phase. So back to Rebecca's turn, and she is just gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, but maybe she wants to stay here because that Cerberus is going to react and move there. So yeah, let's just do that. And then she will draw another tension card. And it's an all clear. And now Barry here, he's just going to try knifing it because it only has 1 health. So maybe he'll get lucky and kill it. And he does not. So it is going to react and move into our character's space. And I think he's going to try to attack it again. If he misses, he's going to take an automatic wound. Oh. But just a sec. Our last tension card has this symbol on it, which means if the top card in tension deck has that symbol, the enemy performs 2 reactions instead of 1. Ooh, during the reaction phase. Okay, so that's just during the reaction phase, not an out-of-sequence reaction, I would think. That's how I'm going to play it. So he's only going to do 1 reaction, and we get to push him. So let's do that. So we push him back. And maybe I'm going to use my handgun and unload into this guy, try to get him to die so he doesn't react twice during the reaction phase. So let's get a hit. Oh man, we just got another push. What a waste of bullets. So we push him over there. So that was my 3rd action. So my 4th action, Rebecca could have done this too on her turn, but just we're going to close the door. And now he won't react. And we'll just do a tension card. Unfolding events. Draw a narrative card, then remove this card from the deck for the rest of the scenario. Ooh. So narrative cards have this backing. And we get Dangerous Puzzle. A click sounds and 3 small hollows open in the wall beside you, quickly followed by gas filling the chamber. Take the items or release the switch. The choice is yours, but hurry. Draw up to 3 item A cards. This character must then pass a medium evade roll for each card drawn. The character suffers a hit for each roll they fail. Ooh. Let's draw. That was Barry's turn. Yeah, he can take a few hits. Let's draw. Let's just do 1. I don't want to risk it. So he's just going to draw 1. He's got to roll the medium symbol or higher. He does not, so he's going to take another hit. But we do get to draw an item A card, which is more handgun bullets. Excellent, excellent. That is a welcome addition. So we will use that on his next turn. Rebecca on her next turn, she's going to open the door for 1, 2, and then attack the dog with her handgun. She has 9, so she's going to go down to 6, try to kill it. So here's hoping for some death. Nice, and she rolls it, and that Cerberus only has 1 health, so it is Gonzo. And thank goodness for that, because we do not need that in there, and at least it doesn't spawn a corpse token. And then she is going to go 1, 2. And this door is open still from before. And she just has to draw a tension card. And she draws an all clear. And now it's Barry's turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. And a tension card for him. Another all clear. And that ends that round. And Rebecca's turn. She's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Draw a tension card, which is another all clear. Now we're out of tension cards, but the scenario says we get to reshuffle the tension deck and start drawing from it again. Normally, that does mean the scenario ends. That's one way that it can end anyway, but not in this scenario. So we can keep on trucking, and Barry is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll start heading up that way to that other room with that last corpse in it, or no, second last corpse. And he is going to draw a tension card, and he gets an all clear. So now we could potentially be drawing all the ones we drew again, all the nasty ones, because we reshuffled. But that's okay. Now no enemies still on the board, but now we have that corpse token there, which could potentially become a zombie. And it is a 4, so not a 1. So she is going to spend her second action, discard another kerosene token, and burn that corpse, which is awesome. And then she's got 2 actions left. She is just going to go up here and open the door, and she will draw a tension card, which is an all clear. Barry is also going to make his way up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to prep by opening the door and dealing with this encounter token. He needs to draw a tension card, and it's an all clear. And now back to Rebecca. 1, 2, 3. And then we got to roll the dice for the zombie. Oh dear. It's a zombie this time. Our luck ran out. Can't win them all. And then her last action is going to be just to knife him, I think. So let's hope for a push or a hit symbol. And we get a push at least, so we can push him out of our square. So we push him back this way. And she is standing on an A item, which she'll be able to get on her next turn. But now it's the reaction phase, so he's going to move back in there. And she draws an all clear. But Barry, he's going to unload. He just got a bunch more ammo. Or he's at 3 right now, actually. So he'll spend an action, because remember he picked up these some more handgun bullets. So he's gonna spend or use an action to load his gun some more. So we're at 3, so we're gonna go back up to 11. And he's going to spend 3 ammo and try to kill that zombie. He was hoping for something good, and we just gotta push. So we'll push him away again. So we'll push him back to there. And I think on his second action, he is going to do that again. So we're going to spend 3 more ammo. Thank goodness we found that extra ammunition. Or we'd be knifing our way. Wow, 3 pushes. Okay. Actually, that's not horrible. Because we could actually just push him into this other room And we don't have to deal with him anymore because we just got to burn all the corpse tokens. He's not a corpse anymore, so we can kind of ignore him. And so that was 2 actions. And Barry is going to open the door. And I don't know if he wants to go in yet because he only has 1 action left, which isn't going to be great going into this room and dealing with this encounter card just in case it's something bad. So maybe we'll just end his turn there. You don't have to spend all your actions. But he does have to do a tension card, which is another all clear. And then back to Rebecca. She's going to spend an action and pick up this A item. But she's already at 6 items. Oh, and it's a kerosene container, so that is going to work the same way as before. We're going to put 3 on there, I believe. Yep, 3 of them. And then she's going to spend her other actions to go 1, 2, 3. So we are going to have to see what our encounter card is going to give us. And it spawns a Cerberus. Awesome. Which, where's the closest one? The one I'm standing on, so we never spawn on the one we're standing on. So he's going to spawn over there. And now it's, oh, she gets a tension card. Uh-oh, Deathly Rasp. Draw an encounter card. Ugh, that's disgusting. Spawn 2 corpses. I need to keep on burning more corpses, apparently. The game just won't let us win. Okay, so that was her turn. Now it's Barry's turn. He's going to step in here. And I think he's going to spend, he's got 8 ammo left. He's going to spend 3 more. And try to shoot that little puppy. Hope he can take him out. He just gets 2 pushes. Which doesn't do a whole heck of a bunch. Maybe we could push him over here, I guess. Doesn't really do anything. So that was 1, 2 actions. Let's have him spend 3 more. So he's down to 2 ammo. And we're going to try to take that guy out. Oh man, just another push again. Jeez. So we're just going to leave him there, I guess. I guess we'll push him down back over here. That was his 3rd action. He's got 1 more action. Well, I guess I'll shoot him with 2 bullets. He's only got 2 left. So we'll go down to 0 and try to kill him with 2. And still nothing. Great. Okay, that's Barry's turn. So now the dog is going to react, the Cerberus, and he can move 2. And he draws an all clear. Which means it is a brand new turn. And Rebecca's going to just try knifing the Cerberus. Let's hope for the best. And we got to push. So we push him 1 space back. Now I think she'll knife him again. Try to save some ammo. Maybe I'll be able to roll something better. Not a chance. So that was her 2nd action. She's going to spend some ammo. Man, this guy is like draining all of our resources, man. And she is going to try to take him out. And she just pushes him again. Man. So we will push him back over here. She's got 3 bullets left. Why not? And let's see if we can take him out. And we get 3 pushes. My word. So we'll push him back over there. Yeah, now is Rebecca's fourth action, so Cerberus is going to react. And we get Fevered Assault. During the next player's turn, increase enemy movement values by 1. Okay. Well, pretty sure that Cerberus is just going to be bouncing back and forth anyway. And now it is Barry's turn. He's just going to try knifing that dog. And maybe he'll just distract the dog while Rebecca goes and burns some bodies. So we'll try to knife that dog. We fail horribly, which means Barry has to take a wound. Oh, except there is a symbol here on that last all clear. Oh, it's the scary symbol, which means the enemy performs 2 reactions instead of 1. So Barry is in the danger zone. So his second action, he is going to spend his first aid to bring him back to... you heal by 3 levels. So that's going to be his second action. That is a starting item. So he's going to go up 1, 2, 3 levels. And his third action, if you ever get attacked by a dog or an enemy, you can push him 1 square away. So we are going to do that. So if we miss again, at least he'll just move into our square. Oh no, he will still attack us because he's going to do 2 reactions. Oh man! And he does. So he's going to move into our square, bite Barry, but then we'll get to push him back out again. But now Barry is back to caution, and he's got no more healing, so... And then his last action, he's going to try knifing him again. He misses, which causes him to react twice. And I just took a look in the rulebook, and actually... they only are going to automatically hit you and react if they're on the same square as you. So on that last action, his third action, I had him come in and attack him. So that wouldn't have actually happened. Only other enemies on the same or linked tiles would react to that. If he was on the same square as us, then he would definitely attack us. So... and we wouldn't take another damage, or he's not going to react to our last action either, where we missed. Only if he was on the same square. So that is good. But now he will react because it's the end of his 4 actions. And we get an all clear and no stupid symbols. And now it's back to Rebecca's turn. She is just going to try to move off the square. But she does have to take an evade for doing that, and she gets to roll 2 dice, and it's a small base enemy, so we just have to roll any one of the arrow symbols and we'll be fine. And she doesn't roll any of them, so she has to take a damage. So she is getting dangerously close to death as well, but she also has a first aid kit, which she may have to use. And maybe she will actually, her second action, in case that dog attacks her. So she is going to go at 1, 2, 3. So she's at full health again. Her third action, she's going to spend a kerosene token and burn that corpse. And I don't know if she cares too much about the A item at the moment. Maybe she does. It could be some more health or something. Okay, a green herb. That's okay. And then the dog is going to react and move to her spot. And she gets an all clear, but we have that symbol now, which isn't the one that's as bad, but now he can attack from 3 spaces away and then moves into Barry's space on the end of his turn. So Barry is gonna try to knife that dog. We gotta kill this thing. And he's not in the same square, so it should be fine. And we rolled horribly again. So he's gonna spend his second action and push him one space. At least he can push him away from Rebecca. So he's gonna push him up there, and then his next action, he is going to try that again. Man, we haven't had this much bad luck rolling against an enemy in a long time. So he's gonna try again. Third action. Wow, we are not doing anything here. Fourth action. We just keep rolling arrows. This is horrible. So now he attacks us and he moves into our square. So Barry's got to take a hit and draw a tension card. And it's an all clear, but it's got the same symbol on it. But Rebecca can now move onto that square, spend 2 actions, and she has 2 kerosene tokens left, and she can burn those 2 bodies, and there are no more corpses on the board, and that is our win condition. And I think we can end there. Yes, I looked it up. That is our win condition. So we can choose to end at any time as soon as there's no corpse tokens on the board and we've collected both C items. The only thing I think I may have forgot to do is when we were over here and Barry collected this C item, I think there might have been 2 corpse tokens there that should have become zombies, because that's another one of the special rules for the scenario, and I may have forgotten to do that. So my apologies for that, but that was Resident Evil. That was the second floor East A scenario, and I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got to see what this game is like and how crazy it can be. Yes, it is very luck based on your rolls. You can see how much ammo we blew through on that one Cerberus, but that's kind of the name of the game when you're panicked and you're shooting wildly. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you don't. We had pretty good luck for the rest of the scenario, though. We were hitting pretty well. And I still had my shotgun ammo that I could have used, but I was trying to conserve it because you only go up so much on your ammo for your weapons other than your handguns for the next scenario. So I kind of wanted to save it a little bit because we're going to need it in the next one as well. So, but anyway, that was Resident Evil, the board game. Check this one out if you like it. I have tons of fun playing this one and look forward to playing it some more. So have a great day and we'll see you in the next video.